I wanted to talk today a lot about dreams and their effect on your life and how you can utilise them, how they're like a hidden gem, if you like, that everybody has that nobody uses. And today, this morning, just in our chat around the coffee, a couple of people have come up with dreams which indicate how their dreams are trying to give them something, some information about their life. One is Raj, and the other is Kamal, and I know also that Brad's had some dreams too. So, as well as myself, there's three people who've had dreams, and their dreams are trying to inform them about their life. And in one particular case, like with Raj, the dream's important. It's important to get a message, but you need to understand dreams. So while we don't bother trying to learn them in more detail, we are actually wasting a wonderful facility that we all have. And so what I thought I'd do today, just one more time, probably the last time I'll do it, but I'll just go through some of my own dreams one more time so we can actually just look at the dreams and what they're saying and how I can tell about my life from them. Then we'll talk about a bit of Brad's dreams so we can see from him. Then if anybody else has a dream they'd like to throw in, then we'll do some analysis of that as well. So let me just see if I can go back here to where I'm looking. 9, 13.
Can we just move it down a tad so they don't get you breath? There we go.
There we go.
Excellent.
Okay. Yes, I don't want to breathe all over everybody. Okay.
How heavy breathing.
That's true. Now, if we go back to the time, I think must have told you this dream a million times, but when I was walking across, I had that dream long time ago where I catch the bus and I go where no man has been before, which I think has been the dreams and all that sort of stuff. And I finally reach the church. I go across a large expanse of water. I finally reach the church, and I find that's where my destination is, the church. As I said, that has been my road of life through that difficult period, learning through all the different dream things, the water being the trouble and the emotional problems, then finally reaching the church, which is Aramai. And Aramai is, but when I reach the church in the dream, it's all empty, there's nobody in there, and I'm walking around this church. It's like no church I've ever seen, and I'm scratching my head saying, oh, I don't know about this. And then I walk outside and I hear the voice of God say, you've got 3.5 years to reach the gap, or whatever. If you look at that in the context of my life, you can see how I went through. I did go through the period of learning all that weird, wonderful stuff, getting messages at night and getting all that sort of stuff. And then I did go through the long period of trouble. Then I have come along to Aramai, but Aramai still doesn't have all the people in it yet, so I'm running around scratching my head. And the next phase is soon to come, and that's what I'm told. I've got 3.5 years to sort it out. Now, I was also, we're coming to the point, you know, where we've been through a lot of difficulties and a lot of problems, and things have been really stuck in a situation where we need them to change. And I was wanting to have an indicator of when on earth are these things going to ever change. And then I had a dream that I arrived home in the car, and I'm told that I've had the same car for 11 years. So in other words, that means I've been in the same situation for 11 years. Now I know that the situation for me went bad, my life went bad, in 2002 around June. So 11 years brings it around June this year for the change. So I've been now given a reasonable approximate change. I had another dream recently where, again, it involves change and things coming, and I'm asked my age, and I say, oh, I'm 66. So I know that it's before I turn 67, which is in about 8 weeks' time. So again, I've got that double indicator, and I've had other dreams that also indicate that particular time for change. So through those dreams, you can begin to assemble dreams. Now we can all do this. This is not just me. We can all do this. you can then assemble your other dreams, and in my case I can say, okay, let's take the other dream I said earlier, whereby I'm wandering around the church and nothing's happening. Well, at the moment I'm wandering around life and nothing's happening, and I'm involved with Aramai, so that's that period, and I know that period ends 6-8 weeks. So that starts the final phase, and I'm told I've got 3.5 years to do it, sort it out. I had another dream which told me that I'm going up a hill and it was really steep. And then just before it gets I reach the end, it goes so steep it's almost vertical. I can hardly, I can't get up there. And then just as I'm about to give up, the road levels out and it says back to normal. So I knew that before things got better, they were going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, and in the end become utterly impossible, and then finally change. So we've definitely got the impossible phase, so hopefully it'll change very soon. So they're dreams that indicate, to me, important elements in life. Now, if, like, go back to Raj for a minute, he had the dream. Do you mind me having? You don't mind me just bringing it up? No. Yeah. Okay. Well, Raj has had the dream whereby he dreamt of the death of his son, and which is not a good dream to dream, unless you understand that it's probably symbolic, and it'd be very unlikely it means anything but a symbol. So that actually makes it a good dream, because the death of something in a good dream means the rebirth of something new. There's always death and rebirth. So when you have something like that means an aspect of somebody dies, they change. And of course, we all know that people change for the better. Generally speaking, life makes you change and improve. So it means that somebody's got rid of a bad habit or a bad something that they do, and they've improved, they've changed for the better. So it's telling Raj that there's something good coming, there's a change coming. But unless you actually understand dreams, you sit down and scratch your head as to why on earth did I dream that? So they're very they're very worthwhile just studying and looking at and going through. Now, I'll give you some more of my own, which will just give you an idea how valuable they are, how useful they are. I marked a few here, which I can just go through. Not too many, but a few. And 4th, 22nd of the 4th, 12. And you can see in the book here, I've got them all my dreams down here. I've still put them in books. So if I go back to 22nd of the 4th, there's one here where a dream I had where, and you can all have a bash at interpreting these dreams before I give you the meaning.
When did you have that dream? What year?
This was last year in April. I'm crossing a road and I come up to a cow as I cross the road, but it turns into being a container of sweets.
Sweets?
Sweets, yeah, like lollies. Okay, what's that mean?
Something good coming. Sweet.
Yes, good, something good. But the cow represents something bad. So it's telling me that around the period of change, which is crossing the road, I'll meet up with a situation that looks bad, but it turns out to be good.
Why cow is bad?
If I said to Theodora, say, you're a cow, what does it mean?
She would think it was bad.
She would think it was bad. Yeah. So cow is always a bad symbol. It's not unless you're actually symbolising the teats of a cow and you're sitting and getting the milk out. That's not a bad symbol. That's about the only type of cow symbol that wouldn't be bad.
But I think if you say to an Indian woman you're a cow, she loves it.
She loves it, yes. Exactly. In India, if you say that girl she's a cow, means, she's like a goddess.
Sacred.
Yeah, sacred, yeah. But in actual fact, you've got to remember that we mustn't confuse conscious culture with the unconscious language of the universal language. Sometimes people will dream and throw an odd cultural thing in, but generally speaking, the language of the unconscious is universal. It's not something that we just create at a conscious level. That's why, I mean, Freud once made the famous statement that understanding dreams, or when you look at dreams, it's like people being able to write in a foreign language that they've never learned, or write in Sanskrit when they've never learned it. Because dreams do not reflect conscious language. They reflect the unconscious language. It's more like a hieroglyphics. So it's more of a universal language, and if you get to understand it, it's pretty universal across cultures. There can be the odd cultural thing come into it, but what you've also got to remember, that a person, for instance, who has a white, Western, European background can still dream symbols from the culture of India, Arabia, Greece, or anywhere else, because it's a universal language. And it's the same, an Indian or a Middle Eastern can still dream the dreams having the symbolism, the culture of the West, because it's a universal language. For instance, with my own dreams, I've quite often dreamt of symbols that are either Indian or ancient Greek symbols, like what's that god, that ancient Greek god, can't think of his name now, won't come in.
Zeus, Apollo, or whatever.
Well, I've dreamt of Apollo, I've dreamt of Zeus, yeah. But things like that, which we have no relevance to us because it's coming from this unconscious level. So you must remember that when you're doing dreams, don't get locked into cultural symbols too much. They're there, but so are other people's cultures as well. And you've got to sort of understand the way dreams use things.